Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show, and it is Friday. You know what that means? Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, yeah. Partying, yeah. Fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Alrighty, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com. And that information is also in the ticker down below and in the video description. You're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And for my other financial content, just scroll down, answering your financial questions. That's the weekend stream, and that is on hiatus temporarily at least, while I'm doing every weekday after shows. So both of those, and that's what do we got? 135 in the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and Ramsey Show After Show shows. This is number 414. So plenty of me to watch for sure. The music playlist. Still not able to sing that new song well enough, so I'm going to work on it over the weekend and try to get it early, do that early next week. But there are already 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. And so check those out if you are so inclined. What up, Jules? What up, Doc? What up, Sid? What up, Mila? What up, Joy? Working, yeah. Sid needs to buy a hedge trimmer. Do you got a hedge that needs to be trimmed, I'm assuming? Or is it for some other nefarious purpose? Is it to use on your coworker, Sid? Market report, and let's reload to make sure that we have it. Let's see. So Dow Jones, S&P 500, Nasdaq, new records today. Nasdaq just barely. Nasdaq was down a lot of the day for some reason. Actually, it was up most of the day, and then for the last couple hours of trading, it went down for some reason. And so, but still positive here and barely. So that would be a new high, and the Russell Small Cap Index up the most, but that's still not back to its previous high, which was in November of 21. Let's see, let's check the rest of the planet. Everything down in Europe, almost all down in the Asia. See what the dollar's doing today. US dollar up over the euro, down to the Japanese yen, up over the British pound, love, up over the Canadian dollar, and up over the Australian dollarmite. So not quite a clean sweep, but pretty good. Let's see, earnings calendar. Nobody exciting today, I guess. Home Depot reports on the 12th. That'd be Tuesday. Oh, that's right, Veterans Day on Monday. And so I believe your banks and your stock exchange are closed on Monday. Ramsey will still be doing a show. And I'll be doing the after show still. And the most followed single stocks on Google, all of them down except for Tesla, up 8.19%. And Tesla does tend to either go up or go down a lot. It doesn't generally move within less than 1%. It's normally way over that. Let's check the headlines. Powell to Trump. Go ahead, make my day. I don't know what that means. Oh, I think because I read somewhere he said he's not going to. That's Jerome Powell, the Fed, said he won't resign if asked to. So maybe that's what that's all about. Toyota says California-led electric vehicle mandates are impossible as states fall short of goal, and that's not a shocker that California is trying to. I mean, they don't let reality over there. They don't let reality um, lead what laws they make over there. They're just like, oh yeah, save the planet, go 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 go. Yeah, no matter how impossible it is, they just pass the laws anyway. This luxury lost its shine. I don't know what that means. I don't know why shine is in capital. Oh, I guess all of the words are in capital. So don't know what that's all about. Oh, that's Gucci and stuff. Yeah, I mean, spending had been down for a while. We'll see if the election makes it go back up, like it did the market in the first few days after. We'll see. We'll see, but people had been spending a little bit less. TSMC will stop making 7 nanometer chips for Chinese customers. All right. The Verge's 2024 holiday gift guide, 75 of the best tech gifts we found. That's fun. Passengers jolted after Qantas plane suffers engine failure. Qantas would be Australia, I believe. Might. So, I mean, I would take a jolting over a crashing for sure. So, that's good. Clean Spark comments on trading halt related to clerical warrant conversion error. All right. I don't know what Clean Spark is. TikToker finds modern day fairy tale after shopping for a man at Home Depot in a viral video. All right. Home Depot probably is good a place to meet somebody as anywhere. So, I mean, if that works out for those kids, congratulations. AMD desktop PC market share skyrockets amid Intel's Raptor Lake CPU crashing scandal. Intel has been having its problems. AMD making the biggest leap in recent history. It said it skyrockets. It's still not going to be probably over the Intel though, but they seem to be fine processors as far as I know. I've never had a computer that had it in there. I've built many though, but I've never had one. I've stuck with the Intel processor and have had no problems. Mine's not one of these newer Raptor Lake ones, so I think I'm all right on that. Let's see. Tesla closed the highest level in 2 years, but not back to its original high either. Nvidia down actually. World's most valuable company has officially joined the Dow. All right. I did not know it was the world's most valuable company. Lucid slightly tops Wall Street's third quarter expectations amid widening losses. I can't remember what Lucid does. DGT up again, and Trump says he's not selling it either. Palantir again, pharmaceutical, rakes in $7.7 billion. Mere peanuts next to this. Next to what? All right, they got me. I want to see that. Well, 7.7 billion is mere peanuts in comparison to. Come on. Yeah. Well above 7 billion. Is it? Oh, Cintas. Oh, Palantir. Okay. So those are, but who did better? Workwear giant Cintas. Oh, Broadcom, really? How much? It doesn't give me $1 billion number for that. And it doesn't have it in this list either. It just says it has the amount invested in millions. Oh, I guess 17,000. Okay, so yeah, that's quite a bit more than the 7 billion then. So if that's 7 billion, this is 17 billion. So Broadcom, I guess, is pretty good, and I'm sure I have the in my large cap. Mutual funds, probably, in all of them. All right, so just curious about that. Catch up on the chat. Azalea bush hasn't been cut since moved in. All right, yeah. Anyone else here for that British accent Steve does? All right. Well, thanks, Mila. I appreciate it. I'm just having fun with it. Joy, he might if he bought it for he said 150 even, 150K. Um don't know how far from Chicago he was. But all we can do is trust him that he said that he's checked the houses out already and found one there and is not just hoping. But yeah, west of Chicago. If I call and say I'm the pastor in a town of 400 people named Smithville, it's pretty easy to identify me. Fair enough. Anytime anything British is mentioned, Steve makes me laugh. Awesome. Over the top and funny. That is generally one way to overdoing it. I mean, that's what worked for Jim Carrey, overacting, and that worked for him. Yeah, maybe further west than you're thinking. Yeah. Mila, do they have a Home Depot in the Vegas area? Because they're not everywhere. I think they're all over the country, but not everywhere. Joy used to work at the Home Depot. Did you enjoy that, Joy? I used to work at Menards, which is a Midwest version of the Home Depot, and the yes, and I know it's pronounced Depot, but I used to work at Menards. It's in the Midwest version. Oh, I'm not worried, Mila. It wouldn't, even if people didn't like it, that wouldn't stop me. What do we got first on the questions? Again, this has been a Ramsey Baby Steps Community Facebook group questions week, and continuing that today, and we'll get back into the Reddit questions on Monday. Again, no weekend streams. That weekend stream is on hiatus until further notice, like until I have to work during this time slot and can't do an after show. And then I'll start doing them on the weekend again if I'm off weekends. So all depends. This is somebody was just showing their investment screens for that. I don't know if this is. I haven't looked at the Fidelity's phone app So I don't know if that's them, but with the green right there, it might be. But when it is trying to get you to pick funds or help you pick funds, or it asks you to pick your retirement age, you decide the date. So a lot of times they will try to push you into, it'll definitely suggest it anyway, whether it's you consider that pushing or not, a target date fund. And those tend to have bonds and other less risky things in it. And so you're not being, if you're, 30 or under, you're not being anywhere near aggressive enough, but with a target date fund that early. Now, if you want to start investing in that when you get about 10 years from retirement, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I would still point out that you've been fine from whenever you started to invest all the way to now, many, many years, maybe decades even. So, what, you're going to take your foot off the gas for the last 10 years just in case the whole thing collapses? I would just want the person to think about that. Aim to follow the market. Choose a single low expense ratio fund that aims to track a market or a benchmark. You can choose these. So you can go by that one. You can do the index fund, or you set your approach and tell us. Oh, okay, okay. So this is not really pushing you into that target date. My mistake. So that's pretty cool. Or you can hire pros to help you. So, it is Fidelity. There we go. So I was correct on guessing the brokerage by the color scheme. So I ask you to compare the options. And there was no question with this, I don't think. They were just sharing that. And I hadn't seen it, so I thought I would take a look at it. And since it's considered content, I thought I'll just take a look at it live. Mila has a silly question. What up, Joey? What up, Simply? Hello, hello, says Sid. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello. That would be the Beatles. They are British as well. We're crazy. Full moon or something. It might be something. Simply, thanks for dropping by, though, definitely. Social Security gives you money as long as you are not working and earning more than a certain amount, says Sid. Mila retracted something. I wonder if she called me a bad name. She would not do that. I'm capping. Question one. What would you / Dave do? Baby step two, with just $343 a month car payment. That's not, I would call that chest, but all right, that's better than that and other debt for sure. 18K left to knock out. Our kitchen window has been leaking all year, basically since we started the baby steps. It's at the point where we have to do something about it. As we can see mold growing around the window, and anytime that is dealt with mold will understand, anyone, that has dealt with mold will understand how bad mold can be. It certainly can. Because we're in baby step 2, we have no savings for this, and it may be expensive to replace windows. We were quoted like $3K initially in the spring, but now we'll have to deal with mold remediation, so it's going to be more. Would you just do it before it gets worse and take out a small loan to get done, or what? No. Taking out a loan is part of baby step 0, not doing that. Because baby step 0, part of that is you are deciding you're going to pay off your dumb debt and you're not going to take it out anymore. So what you would do is get rid of your car. You could get rid of your car and move down in car, and then that will give you hopefully enough money to fix the leak and the mold. So there's no loans. I'm getting concerned about the active leak and the worsening mold issue, but we don't have the cash to handle it like Dave recommends. Well, you would also just be going down to the minimums while you try to cash flow it. You go down to the minimum on your debt, which I guess is just this 343 a month car payment, and so that minimum, is, I mean, I guess that's the minimum on it, and so that would be part of it. But you try to cut out something else then to have your, I mean, go back over your budget and cut stuff you didn't want to cut before, that you probably should have cut before. If there is anything, I don't know. Maybe there's not anything. Maybe everything left in the budget is 100% necessity. But normally people tend to not cut out everything that they could. So you would definitely look at that way, way before loan time. So were 401ks also invested? So we're 401ks maybe also invested it in the market, or is that more of an IRA thing? What? Okay. Maybe this person just doesn't understand life, which is a lot of people's issues, especially with investing for retirement and these accounts. So a 401k and an IRA, and you can have a Roth 401k and also a Roth IRA, and the Roth just means no tax on the growth. You do pay taxes on the contributions, but in the market, generally, if you're in there any appreciative amount of time, your growth is going to be way more than the contribution. So it's better to pay taxes on the contributions and not have to. But back to the names of them, the types of accounts they are. 401k is something that you do through work. You can, if you have your own business, can do a solo 401k. That was brought up today on the Ramsey show. But you have the 401k and IRA. What those are tax advantaged, not taxed advantage, my fault. Tax advantaged accounts. Okay, and I've explained this on here before, but a lot of people do make this mistake. Those are not your investment. Those are the accounts that the investment sits in. So not only do you have to open, say you want a Roth IRA, you open the Roth IRA, fine, done, and you have $5,000, or you just want to take money from your 15% of your paycheck, so that you hit that 15% every year. You want to take the 15% out of your paycheck. That amount you transfer from your bank to your brokerage. And at that point, some people think they're done because they think the 401k is the investment. Like it's already set up. It's going to be, you're invested in this and this and this and this. That's not how it works. It's just an account. And if you transfer money in there, it's just like a savings account. And you get a tiny bit of interest on it while it's in there. Just a tiny bit. So once the cash is in there, you also have to buy investments with that. And so you're not invested in a IRA, you're not invested in 401k, you're invested in whatever the mutual funds are, if you're going to take Dave's advice, the managed mutual funds for retirement, since these are retirement accounts. These are not save up for a rainy day, because you can't take out the money without penalty until your retirement age. And so that's the main deal on that. But a lot of people don't know that. The same people that tell Rachel and George and other hosts all the time that they don't have debt, but they do have student loans. So that kind of thing. People are just nutty and for some reason don't know things. And I can forgive not knowing about the 401k and how that works and how that's not already a set investment. Then I can forgive a college graduate not being able to grasp that a student loan is debt, even though it was for something they think is really important. That doesn't make it not debt. It's still debt. or a car payment. And that comes down to just the advertising, and just probably like myself, what they were told their whole life growing up. You're always going to be in debt, you're always going to have a car payment. And so then I guess if they're thinking along that line, then well, that can't be considered debt if I'm always going to have a car payment. So, and that's sad that that happens, but that does happen. Like I'm not exaggerating. Once a week at least, I heard you're always going to have debt. And Dad was wrong. It's Gibbs rule, I think, 51. Sometimes you're wrong. Myself and older sister recently found out that we have until the 11th, that's Monday, to move out of the house we are living in. Cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. That's, who is that? Third Eye Blind. Younger sister is being a butt. Awesome. And and reason why we have to move. Okay. We have some money in checking/savings accounts. No credit card or car payments. I have a full-time job, and she has a couple of 1099 jobs. I feel like for me, it's gonna be tough for us, both of us and 3 teen boys, to find a place to live on a short notice. All right. I mean, why would you be living there anyway? Oh well, I guess that's where they were at. We're looking at the possibilities of foreclosure homes or rent to own. Okay, we have a lawyer to go against our other sister on several issues. All right, so they put the fun in dysfunctional family, I guess. I know we need to get documentation together to see what, if any, mortgage we can get. Yeah, you can do that. And that's yourself and older sisters, so you're still doing it wrong, tying yourself to family members instead of as an adult living on your own. So, but you got kids involved apparently, and I feel like for me, probably gonna be not much money being made, and so maybe doing the best they can, but I don't see the question here. Yeah, I don't see the question. I don't see any question here. Okay, just wanted to vent maybe, or maybe forgot to put the question in. But the no CC or car payments, that part is fabulous. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice to recommend that you buy one with another sister when you already had a problem with your younger sister. So, you know, there could always, you never know, there could always be a problem with you two, and you try to buy a house together, that can lead to problems. So, not advised. Simply does 401k through work. Excellent. Also, they said Windows the same time to match. Oh, let's scroll back and see. I did not see that. I thought it was one window. Oh, and maybe extensions to replace Windows. Yep. Yep, you see. So you see. That's like my favorite example of you have a faucet leak in your bathroom, and all of a sudden, for some reason, that needs to become a bathroom remodel instead of just fixing the leak. So yeah, that would be a no. And you want to get a loan for that, that would even be dumber than it would already to get a loan to fix that. So that's a no. What is the best way to teach financial literacy to kids? Be a good example for sure. Rachel, one of Rachel's favorite sayings, more is caught than taught. And so you just be a good example. and you can talk to them about it. You don't have to tell them, especially if you are having money issues. There's no need to draw the kids into that. But I mean, you can talk to them at some level on it, depending on their age. You don't want to put too much on them at too young. Are there any good resources out there? Young age, 5 to 10 years. How do you teach your kids about money? What would Dave say? Well, they have books for children. They have books for the 5-year-old. You might want to start with Rachel's baby books, even. What is it? It's in my song. I haven't sang those songs in a long time. What is it? I'm glad for where I am and glad for what I have. And I think there's just those two already. No, I think it's three now. All right. Anyway, but they have kids book. They have Smart Money, Smart Kids as well. They have I think they have like, oh gosh, what was it? Like a not a game. It might be a game pack. I can't remember what else they have, but they do have resources for kids. And once they get up in the teen years, the Total Money Makeover, even, which is the flagship book, they don't put $5 college words in there. And so a mid to late teenager would be able to understand it all because it is explained very, very simply. Just like things on the show are. They don't try to use, like I said, the college words to make themselves sound better or smarter or whatever. And so, but they do have resources for kids on there. There's also the high school curriculum that they have, Foundations in Finance, and you can get a homeschool version of that, I believe, as well, or just buy that same thing for a homeschooling version. But for 5 years, I would probably, and you can't, as far as teaching financial literacy, I wouldn't dump the 5-year-old and the 10-year-old in the same class that you're giving or the same talk that you're giving, because that's way, 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 way different. So we recommend Mila says, so we recommend against single stocks because it's high risk. But isn't SP 500 sort of like that? You add whatever stocks into there you want. You do have it wrong, Mila. S&P 500 is a set number of stock. I think it's 500. That like the top 500 stocks is, and so that is a mutual fund. If you get an S&P 500 index fund, and all the different brokerages have an S&P 500 based mutual fund for you to get, but again, your managed large cap funds are going to beat the index, and by a lot. Let's see. Simply says people think credit cards and loans fix everything. Nope, they just make it worse because that's just delaying the problem. That's just like they said today, like getting consolidation loan. That's just moving the debt around. That's not paying it off. So yeah, they're adding fuel to the fire. That's right. They're making it worse for sure. Right. You can hire Smart Vista Pros or any other, like we saw on that Fidelity phone app screen. It says hire a pro, and that would be a pro that works for Fidelity, and they would manage you and the investment you're in. The only problem with that is sometimes people's halos slip, and they recommend stuff that gives them a kickback instead of the best funds for you. Unfortunately. And even SmartVestor Pros have done that as well, unfortunately. Because, I mean, they answer all the questions correctly, I guess, while they're being vetted by the Ramsey team. And then once they get the recommendations, they do what they want to. For example, selling whole life and crap like that makes them more money than it helps out the customer. Just as a quick information share, I noticed Ramsey Solutions has a pretty good discount going on every dollar premium. 30%. If you are looking for a discount, might want to jump on it. I did. Okay, I don't know if that's the 50-day Christmas sale, if that's part of that, or that was something temporary or what. I don't know. Question. If you have $25,000 in a Roth 401k and $15K in credit card debt, is it worth it to withdraw the Roth to pay off the debt? No, that's a no always. I'm 43 and we have $600K in another better retirement account. All right, that's a lot. But now that's still a no because you got penalties on top of that. And so, and plus you'd have to, on any gains, you would have to pay taxes on the gains. So taxes on any gains, unless you contributed 15K. If you contributed 15K, you can take that out, tax and penalty free. But you would have to pay taxes on the gains if you didn't do at least 15. So, but that's never advised. You put it in the retirement account to begin with. So we would like it to stay in there. And so what you do then, and I'm assuming since you have 600K in a different retirement account, I bet you have some luxuries or something like that that you can cut out while you pay off that 15K. Or you have extra savings other than the full emergency fund that you can liquidate and not debt leverage that extra savings. And so you pay that off that way. But I don't know that for sure. They may have a tight budget. But while you have debt, you wouldn't be investing 1 cent more. All the money that you're investing at currently, that would also go to your debt. So, haven't done this in a while. We should ask George what he thinks about it.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
George, know what up? What do you think is the amount of money a family of 4 or 5, that's 2 to 3 tween or teenage kids, okay? That's 2 to 3? You don't know? Or you only have 2 kids now and then you're going to have others soon? All right. Anyway, can live off comfortably per year. That there's no, people always ask this stuff and there's no way to do that. We don't know what city you're in, and we also don't know what the cost of living in that city is, and we don't know what your budget is. We don't know what stuff you could cut out. And when you say live comfortably, that's subjective. We don't know what comfortably is to you, so you're the one that has to decide that. But the amount of the emergency fund goes on your just necessary, 100% necessary expenses. It does not go on wants or comfort even. By comfortably, I mean money from each paycheck goes to savings. Yeah, and that's a no. You wouldn't have money from each paycheck going to savings. The savings, what you're putting in the savings is not part of the emergency fund. It's only for 100% necessary thing. Family gets to take 1 or 2 modest vacations per year. you're not feeling the squeeze of inflation in your budget. And again, impossible to say. We don't know what your mortgage is. We don't know your rent is or anything else like that. That would be impossible for us to say or even guess about that. We couldn't do that. Sorry. Please no shaming. I have a 401(b), but wonder if someone can explain the difference between that and Roth IRA. Also, how do you open one? Explain it like I'm a first grader. All right. I think we had a fifth grader recently asking to have it explained like that. So much like earlier, the 403(b), that is a government IRA, 401(k) is what that is. The Roth IRA is an individual account that you open that is still tax advantage. I keep saying tax advantage. I don't know why. It's still tax advantaged in that you don't pay taxes on the growth in that. And you can have a Roth 403(b) as well. Your employer just has to be offering it. But the Roth means you pay taxes on the contributions, but not on the growth, on the gains, which should be way, way, way more than the amount that you have in contributions, unless you only invest for 5 years or something like that. Then it's possible it would be less. Also, how do you open one? The 403, again, 403(b) has to be through your government employer, whether it be school, the school that you work at, or the government office that you work in. They would handle that. You would just say you want to open one with them, and they handle that. The Roth IRA or even a non-Roth IRA, you can open that at any brokerage you would like to. Like, for example, Fidelity, which we used as an example at the beginning when I showed you that phone app there. So I think that was pretty good. Maybe not quite first grader language, but close enough, hopefully, that you can understand that. Not even that this person will actually hear this, but that would be fabulous if everybody that asks questions there would tune in. Definitely do that. Subscribe, like, and comment, always. Oh. You know what I have to do after I play George saying, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong? I have to go back to the screen where I can see the chat. Oh, Joy is out. Sid says, error dollar looks full price to her. Okay, it could have been just for a couple of days or something. Simply, are you talking to me? You're so funny? Or somebody else? I didn't really see anything funny before that. So I'm just going to pretend it was for me, even though it wasn't. So, thanks. I like attention, for sure. I'm still a little confused about Roth IRA contributions. Okay, let's continue on that vein then. I opened one for both me and my husband. I plan on maxing out yearly. We're 39 and 41. They are Fidelity accounts. This is not brought to you by Fidelity, but if they wanted to kick in, I would certainly promote them because that's who I use. But so far, no kickback from them for the Coach Steve Money YouTube channel. The thing I don't understand is, am I to assume a certain percentage rate? Is it basically all the same? Should I be discussing with Fidelity? So Mr. Ramsey advises 15% of gross household income. And if you and husband both work, that would be 15% of each, which does not equal 30% of household. 15% of each of you represents 15% of household income as well. And so that's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Am I to assume that that's the one you're talking about? Are you talking about the certain percentage that you think it will make? It's not a savings account. It doesn't make a certain percentage rate. So that's not how it works. There, you get the gains from whatever particular mutual fund, and it would be, if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice, in a retirement account, that would be a managed mutual funds, because there are some out there that do make more money than the index fund. And so leaving money on the table by just doing the index fund, but index fund better than nothing for sure. So I don't really know which one, but I covered both of them anyway. And so they don't have a particular percentage of your income that they take. They don't have that either. You're the one that decides that. And if you're in the Ramsey Baby Steps community Facebook group, I'm assuming you would want to follow Dave's advice, and that would be 15% of a gross household income. And also, you would not be doing any investing if you are still on steps 1, 2, or 3. Investing is step 4. Simply loves my dry humor. So, all right, great, thanks. Mila says, I laugh, everyone. I see myself too. Alrighty. Rudely checking my text. Not very professional. Sonic Queso Smashers. They wanted to inform me about that. Generally, if it's something new, it's not going to be on sale or on the $1.99 menu. So generally, I'm going to be out on any new thing. Where were we? Just paid off our car from the money I had saved for a new AC unit. Now that it's cooler and the AC won't run for a few months, I'm hoping to replenish that account by the time it gets hot again. Great idea. Fast forward 6 months, what would you do if you needed a new air conditioner unit and didn't quite have enough money saved, where we live AC as a necessity? Dad, I still have $8K in the AC fund, working on adding to it over the fall winter months. Then you make sure you have it. What's this? And didn't quite have enough money saved. You don't spend money on anything that's not 100% necessary. If you're saying AC is 100% necessary for you where you live, if you're in a hot climate or something like that, that should be the most important thing for you over the fall winter months, including Christmas, including New Year's Eve. You don't spend money on anything else then, only necessities, and you save up that money to put that back in. You absolutely did the right decision, since you don't have to fix it now, because it's going to be cool now. And so you absolutely did the best thing by paying off the car. Yeah. So you're doing the baby steps correctly there, and continue to do them correctly by saving up that money definitely during the fall winter months. Do not spend money on anything else that's not 100% necessary. So, there's no like slush fund or anything like that. Or, well, we just wanted to spend money on this, and then you don't have the money for the AC. And so whose fault is that? Yours. Don't do that. Be smart. Let's see. Baby step 3B. That would be where you put the down payment, or you start saving the down payment, excuse me. I moved out of my apartment a couple weeks ago, where my rent was about 50% of my income. I know, bad Brian, yes. Was it bad luck Brian was a meme back in the day. To a house with a roommate, with rent being 20% of my income. Big win for me. Absolutely. That's great. And I mean, that's not the, that wouldn't be my first choice. That's not the most comfortable choice, like some people are worried about. Uh, but that's the right thing to do because 50% is too much. And whether it's rent or a mortgage payment, if you're paying 50% of that to rent or mortgage, then you can't get the rest of the steps done. And so you're stuck. And so that's definitely the right decision there, Bri. Good job. On baby step 2, and I'm looking at life insurance. So you got to do more than look at it. You got to read about it. You got to read the stuff about it, and then you got to buy it. I know Dave preaches term, so you have it until you can insure yourself, correct? Everyone I know is telling me. My loneliness is telling me, and I to go whole due to my age, 26, and health. I like the idea. Who is everyone that you know a financial bro? What's up with that? I like the idea of whole as it can be used in an investment, even though Dave sees it as a scam. You don't think Dave's right as seeing it as a scam? People that sell it have admitted that it's crap. My goodness. I'm not gazelle intense on baby step 2 as I do not have a stable income and get laid off in the winter months. So I'm currently hold on debt and savings. Having said that, I will still have enough income when I start working again in the spring where I don't mind paying the higher premium if it is in fact worth it. Just curious what everyone's thoughts are out there. Again, everything you're doing here is wrong. Do not have stable income and get laid off in the winter months. I got a great idea. Why don't you get a part-time temporary job in the winter months, like for retail, when they hire extra people for the Christmas season? So everything you're doing here is bad, and whole life is bad. It doesn't matter that, I mean, this is crazy. People just hear it can be used in an investment. I like the whole life because it's not just life insurance. It can be used as an investment. Wow. So why wouldn't that work? Watching too much TikTok. Right? The whole life costs way more than term life. That's the first thing. Okay? So the second thing is they invest it in crap. And the third thing is if you die, they pay out the death benefit for sure. It does the life insurance part fine, but the problem is it costs too much. And as far as the investment, you don't get to leave that to your heirs. Guess who you get to leave that to? The insurance company. It is a scam. And like Dave says, I hope I wasn't unclear on that. So yeah. Oh, people are nutty. And yeah, if you just look at it for 2 seconds or see a TikTok for 2 seconds and it says, oh, it's life insurance, but I can use it as an investment too. Yeah, they don't question, oh, I don't get to leave that investment to my heirs. The insurance company gets that. There's a reason insurance buildings are really big. It's because you bought dumb whole life. So do not do that. Would not recommend. 8 out of 100 billion would not recommend. Simply is out. Bible Study Podcast. Simply Blessed Designs. Hope you have a good weekend as well. She probably already out though. Just calculated our net worth. We're at $358,000. Not gloating by any means. Well, if a lot of people that don't have that much, they will think you are. Oh, this is a brag call on the Ramsey Show. Everyone is at a different place. I'm 41 and wife is 47. That also includes our house, right? And that is most millionaires, as soon as they hit $1 million net worth, most of it, most of the time, is the house. The keys: get out of debt, live on less than you make, not then, but we'll give, since they don't have any debt, we will give them a break on the spelling. Stay out of the stores, invest 15%. Will we be millionaires? Who knows, but trust the process. Absolutely. It didn't say they necessarily didn't have a mortgage anymore. So I don't know, but they could have one of those, $250,000 houses and not way more than that, and just still owe on it. So who knows on that? And so this wasn't really a question. This was just a comment on that. So, but anyway, people will say it's gloating or bragging. Looking for suggestions. Baby step 7 with a rental cottage. You probably don't need to rent a college. A rental cottage that has very reasonable rent for our area. Is that 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom for $1,300. Tenants are a young couple, IT and school teacher. Okay. I pay the water bill monthly and lawn maintenance monthly. I was just informed that a friend will be moving in with them for the next 8 months. We were preparing to raise their rent in February by $200 a month, as taxes have increased tremendously and repair costs too. What would be a reasonable amount to charge as the temporary roommate, November 24 through July 25? The rent still needs to increase for just the two of them. Suggestions, please. I would raise it to market rate and don't charge them anything for a temporary roommate. Because, houses might be a little bit different. Well, it's a cottage. Might be a little, but and if you rent an apartment, you don't, it's not more because you have 2 people living in it that I'm aware of. I haven't seen any of that. Granted, I haven't been looking for 2 people apartments in forever. So I don't know. I don't think there is. I don't think there is a charge per person. There's a charge for the apartment, and I would think it would be a rental cottage too. And I mean, you can have a limited amount of people that live there, so they don't have the whole Scooby Doo gang living there all at the same time. You could do that. Probably there's a safety thing involved in there as well that you could enact in, but I don't think most places now, like if it's more like a hotel room or a beach cottage or something like that that's rented, and it's not like a house, and this seems like it's more like a house for this young couple, because it's not just during a vacation rental, that kind of thing would be per person. So I would just make sure you raise it up to market rate. And it sounds like it might be a big increase for them. And I would include it. With unless you promise them already that you're gonna keep paying the water bill and lawn maintenance. If you said you were gonna do that and take care of that, the lawn maintenance might be on you anyway, because that's your property. So that I wouldn't charge them for. I would charge them for the amount of water that they use, for sure. But otherwise, I think I wouldn't charge for the extra friend, but I would get them up to market rate. I mean, it's great if you don't need the money, and in step 7 you may not need the money, but there's also I mean, market rate is fair. And if you can't afford the market rate, you can't rent there. That's just the way it goes. Miss TV Candy says yes to cover the water. She agrees. Everybody agrees. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Long shot. Trying to help my ex. Boop, boop, boo doo. I mean, I guess that's nice, but you know, you gotta make sure you have your stuff 100% in line first. But let's see what's going on here. He recently got divorced. They have no kids together, and she willingly signed all paperwork. Okay. She agreed to take over payments or refi a vehicle he bought her. She was a stay-at-home mom. It's in both of their names, of course. Right. She took the vehicle when she left, of course. Trashed it. Oh, then returned it to the dealership. He got a call to come get it, or obviously it's going to be repoed and go to court. Apparently she couldn't get it in her name, and probably that V and the B are close together. Yeah, right next to each other. Couldn't afford it. Any ideas? He's worked hard and took care of her for 4 years, and now getting the raw end of the deal. He just has to sell it. I mean, sorry that it's trashed. Has to sell it. It's in his name, so it's got nothing to do with her. But if she signed up court paperwork that said she would take over the payment or refi it, you need to work that out with the court first before you would even sell it. But it's in your name, so I would certainly take possession of it and keep it away from her. Maybe put a boot on it so she can't try to take it or something like that, because she has keys maybe still. So, and hopefully you kept keys too if your name was still on it. This person's ex, hopefully the person's ex did. But it's great that you want to help them. But like I said, if that's part of their divorce agreement that she signed, you got to run that by the court first to see what they want to do about it. To see if they want to do anything with her, or whether this person has to sue her. I mean, I don't know if the court automatically would do something about it, since she agreed to and signed for it, but I don't know. You'd have to check into all that. So maybe consult a lawyer, and you probably can't do much for him. And if you're talking about doing anything with money, I probably wouldn't do that. Unless you're on step 7, I probably wouldn't do that. Oh, let's see. Mila asks, why do people get spiteful at the end of their marriage? Makes one wonder how they got together in the first place. Yep, Sid is correct. Often a betrayal. Not always, but then, yeah, I mean, it's just not working out can leave people with a bad taste in their mouth, and they just blame. That's when you blame the other person for all, and all of a sudden, and even, and especially if it was somebody that did the betraying, then they're not taking responsibility for that. And they're just mad that their life is worse now because they got divorced. Alrighty, so I'll save the rest of them. Thanks so much for joining me on a Friday. Got to get down on Friday. And once again, youtube.com/coachstevemoney. You scroll down for the financial content, and that's the answering your financial questions weekend stream, which is on hiatus currently, but there are 135 episodes in there already. You can watch the back catalog, and there are 414 now Ramsey Show Aftershow shows. And there's 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. Listen to those if you're so inclined. Even if you're not inclined, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it. Also, of course, as always, subscribe, like, and comment. And thanks to everybody that has done that already. Looking around I put a light right there just off the webcam so that I can see my keys so I can type and such. And that also lights me more. Embrace the light. Don't turn to the dark side. Alrighty, once again, I am Coach Steve Money, and not just some guy talking about money here. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com / Coach Steve Money. Email coachstevemoney@gmail.com for financial stuff or any other reason, like my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me / Coach Steve Money. Also to alternatively Walmart gift card at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Cash App $ Coach Steve Money. It wasn't taken. Imagine that. Upcoming streams: the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. Until further notice, it will be Monday through Friday every weekend, following each YouTube Ramsey show, and that will be done approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time daily when it goes to the Ramsey Network app exclusively, and that's when the after show will start, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, Monday through Friday. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.